welcome back to another episode of Daddy Daughter Dishes. I am your host, Kiara, and with me I have my lovely co host,
BJ, the daddy.
BJ the Daddy. He is the daddy, I am the daughter. This is Daddy Daughter Dishes, and it's episode 15.
The big 1-5.
This is the Mari episode because she's 15.
Oh, okay. The Mario episode.
For now, as of this current date. This is episode 15, the Mari episode. We're gonna tag it for now. But welcome back, everybody. If you are new here, we do go on some tangents. We talk a little bit about this, a little bit about that. We put it all together and we make one good episode. So this is yet another one.
Another one.
Another one,
Ain't that
as
what
DJ
DJ
Khaled would
Khaled
say.
say? Another one.
Yes. They don't want you to have another episode. Another one. But yeah, Dad, how are you doing? It is been about a week since we spoke last. How have you been since the last episode?
I've been. Let me check in with myself.
Do a
Hmm.
check in.
Doing a check.
Take some
Like,
inventory.
I can start today and work my way back, or I can start back then and work my way to today. Let's start back then since the last episode and work our way forward. Uh, we recorded at the house. I recorded at the house the last episode, and during that episode, I was kind of worked up about, after recording, I was gonna go back to Evansville so I can avoid that 3 a.m. wake up. And let's just say that didn't quite happen the way that I thought it was going to happen, because I don't know if I was just, full of energy during our recording. But when we stopped and when we got off, I was so tired. I was like, I am not driving to Evansville tonight. So I sacrificed myself again last week and did that 3 a.m. wake up. But then there was work last week. And I don't know if anybody else is feeling this, but this weather is like crazy, because we might have had 2 days of spring since the weather broke. And now it seems like we already in the July and August months of summer, because last week,
Mm.
Wednesday in particular, in Southern Illinois and Southern Indiana, it was hot as hell, man. Like, we've been working, we started a new project, and we actually we've been laying out energized wire so we can set some new poles and pull in some new wire. And so we've been in our gloves and sleeves out in that heat.
Oh,
And last Wednesday was rough. Like, the whole week was rough, but Wednesday in particular, it was pretty hot. And when you in those gloves and sleeves and you go to take them off and you've been sweating it, I mean, the sweat just pours out of your gloves, and you're trying to watch not get it on the people that's on the ground, picking up the outrigger
uh,
pads for the trucks. Yeah, Jamil freaks out when he sees some sweat. He's like, man, don't let that
uh,
shit touch
I
you.
know you just be smelling funky. Somebody be
Nah,
funky.
I don't be
I don't know
funky.
who. It might not be you, but somebody be smelling
Mm-mm.
like dog.
Don't nobody smell like dog. I don't know. I don't get that close, but
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
sure they
stay.
do.
Give me 50 feet.
So yeah, that was work wise. And let's see, we got worked up until Friday. Had Mari for the weekend, so I picked her up Friday. And she and we went to dinner Friday night. We had a nice father daughter conversation. She was so light and so happy. Like, I was like, is this Mariana? What is going on here? So,
Who are you and what
that
have you done with
began.
my daughter?
Yeah, like, and
Where'd
that
y'all
was
eat?
good. We ate at Logan's in Marion, because I
Mm.
had I had a taste for some wings, so I ate some wings, and she ate some chicken tenders because she is a chicken tender queen. Uh, So after that, we went to the house and we ended up in Pulaski at the little local little
Shocker.
sports. Not I don't even want to call it
And
a
you keep
sports
dropping
bar.
locations, paparazzi gonna pull up on you.
Hey, I'm my own paparazzi.
We know.
But
Yeah.
we ended up down there and well she wanted to play some darts, but we didn't end up playing darts. She ended up running into one of her little friends and they was outside talking, and I was sitting by myself for a minute, and I was sitting there and the phone rang. Somebody called in an order and I heard them say smoke. And I was like, is that Darren Brown? And they was like, yeah, it's Darren Brown. I said,
They
man,
said,
tell him to
"Damn, your
get his
nosy
ass
ass,
up here.
get off our phone." Dang, you got big,
I
your big old
said,
ears.
I was ear hustling for real, but well, you may not know. I know who Darren Brown is. Darren Brown is let's just call him a rival from high school basketball. He lives in the Chicago area now. He's happened to be in the area over the weekend because he runs an AAU organization, and they had a little basketball tournament in Paducah over the weekend. So, he grew up in Mounds. So he was in Mounds. He ordered some wings from the spot, and he came up and picked the wings up. And when he got there, man, we sat and we talked and we reminisced about basketball, and we talked about being, fathers of daughters, and just, we just caught up because I hadn't seen Smoke since his grandmother passed. I don't know how long ago was that, but that was the last time I seen him. I think it was over a year ago.
You've name
And
dropped him before on here, right?
I
Like
probably
you,
have.
Darren
If
Brown. That
I
name sounds very familiar.
Yeah,
Like
so
you
I mean,
said it a few times.
we had some battles like in high school, and one thing that we talked about is, and I may have talked about this before, was like he went to Meridian, I went to Century, and the Meridian team got was fortunate enough to go to a team basketball camp one summer. And I don't know, for whatever reason, all the players on their team couldn't make it. So they called me and Deshaun Harris, who we went to Century. They called us and asked us if we wanted to go with them. And somehow or another, y'all scrounged up some change from my parents and got a ride down there, packed a little bag, and was gone for like 4 or 5 days. We went to Campbellsville, Kentucky for a team basketball camp that summer. And when I tell you, that was probably one of the best weeks of playing basketball that I ever had at that time. Like, it was a team camp, so we went through the whole week and lost only 2 games during the whole week we was at that camp. We was playing basketball all day long for four or five
Not too
days.
shabby.
Not It wasn't bad at all, and we played against some people that one school in particular was Marion County, Kentucky. A guy named Anthony Epps played. He was the point guard for that team. He had a couple other good players on that team, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they won state in Kentucky that year. But Epps ended up playing for the University of Kentucky. He ended up playing for Kentucky, so he was a pretty good player. And there was some other guys that I don't remember their names, but that was a cool camp. That was a cool time. We had some good times at that camp. But Smoke and I, we talked. We reconnected Saturday night, and the next day, me, Mari, and Rodney, we linked up and we went over to the AAU tournament and sat and watched some games for a couple hours, which was fun. That was enjoyable. Saw some local players out there, some pretty decent talent. I was pretty surprised at the way some of the guys performed. I didn't know a lot of them, but a couple of them I did know, and there was some nice games going on over there. It was fun to go over there and kind of support that whole deal. Mari enjoyed it. She actually ended up running into some people that she knew. A little girl from Murfreesboro, she actually saw, and she was really excited about that. So, yeah, Saturday was a good day. After we left there, we went and got some lunch, and then we ended up going to, excuse me, Azalea's birthday party. My little great niece, Panina's daughter. They had a birthday party
Really?
for her at Uncle Bob's house in a swimming party. I say that with the side eye, but I ain't gonna talk about my brother and his swimming pool on this episode right now. But he need his ass whooped. I can say that I told him that to his face because he was trying. Boy, he said, man, he said pocket. He said, man, the pool kicking my ass trying to get this pool ready. So it was wearing him out, and he got it somewhat together for the pool party. It was safe for the kids to swim in, but
I
it
hope
wasn't
so.
too appealing for the eyes.
It was a little green. It looked like money.
It was it
Or it
was
was
it's just
brown.
let's just call it murky.
Oh, it looked like swamp. It looked like they was in the
but
Pulaski River.
but he had the water was tested. It was fine. Shout out to Junior. He worked his patootie off trying to get that so Leah could have a good time. And the kids had a good time. I saw all the kids, they growing up. God, I'm getting old. As Boopy was there, Bug was there, D2, Dax, Roscoe, Bear, Baby K, which she ain't
These
Baby
are
K
all
no more.
human beings, not animals. Some of them sound like
Yeah,
dog
these
names
are
to say.
yeah, stop it.
You said
These are
Baron Roscoe. That's who.
Bear and Roscoe. I mean, if Bear and Roscoe, those names fit both of them very well. But it was a joy to see all the kids there having fun. And then, me and Rodney, we was just sitting there, we getting old. So we had some of that sip from Mississippi. And man, we had a nice little lemonade concoction going, boy. And let's just say we was right. We was right. And after that, man, went to the house Sunday, got up, did a little yard work. Uh,
I thought this was like you
what
did
did we
some
do
yoga.
Sunday?
I was just like, wait, what?
No, I ain't
Okay.
done no yoga, but did a little yard work Sunday. Uh, somebody, somebody, somebody knocked my mailbox. They didn't knock it over, but they hit it and it was leaning. I'm like, what the
What the
hell, man? What is the
hell?
deal with the mailbox? I just got my mailbox back to where it meet the spec for the postal lady,
Did you check
and
in with the previous suspect?
the previous suspect was not involved, but someone very close to the previous suspect was the culprit.
Ah,
But yeah, it didn't take much to get it. I just had to basically retemp it, get it back straight. That wasn't no big deal. But and I ended up after that, took a nap, mm, got up and took Mari back to Marion and came on up to Evansville last night so I could avoid that 3 a.m. get up today, which is Monday at the time we're recording this. And today at work was a pretty good day for a Monday. A little muggy, hot, after lunch, but it was productive, and we got through it without any incidents. So it's been good since that's been my recap since last week. What about you? What's been going on with you?
sounds like a pretty good week, if I do say so myself. My week since we last spoke it's been pretty chill. Nothing too crazy at work. Um, Yeah, nothing crazy enough at work that I feel the need to mention it on here. But I did spend my Friday where I work from home. I mentioned Brittany a few times on the podcast.
Hmm.
So we both met up at a Thai restaurant down the street from my house and we did a lunch. It was supposed to be a working lunch, but no laptops were open during the lunch. Um, then she ended up coming over to the house and I gave her a tour and
Okay,
then we sat on the patio. She got acquainted with Turbs and CJ.
I'm sure Turbs won her
Then
over.
she was waiting on Turbo. Like I've sent her pictures of Turbo. She was like, I can't wait to meet him. And sure enough, soon as she got here, they were besties.
All
Um,
right, all in
then
her lap of
Yep,
invading her personal space like
all
he
in her
does.
personal space. But she know how to tell him bag up because she like smacked him away one time. I said, yeah, do just that. Let him know you are not hurting him. Enforce your boundaries. But she stayed
Mm.
long enough that we ended up going to Raleigh. to this really low key black owned restaurant and lounge that her boyfriend
Oh,
Alex actually DJs at from time to time.
okay.
So they serve tapas, which is like little small plates of food. Think of like little appetizers. But they were so delicious. We ordered probably like 5 or 6 total. And they had these very creative drinks, which I sent you a picture of
You
over the
sent me a
weekend.
picture.
Yes, and I said this was before I knew that the drinks were as decorative as they were. I sent you a picture and I was like, "When you see it, LOL." And
When you
I was
see
referring to the bathtub hooch, and I thought that was the cutest name. So I was like, "Let me get a bathtub hooch." And they brought out a little
little
plastic
bathtub.
bathtub with a rubber ducky in it, and it had my hooch in it, and it had a straw, and it was some of the best hooch I've ever had. I would almost say it was probably better than a sip from Miss Sip, but I haven't had any,
Oh,
so
mm,
I can't
we
say.
gonna have to figure. We gonna have to do a taste test then.
We'll spin back about that one.
We'll
Then
spin
CJ
that.
had he had some like purple elixir looking drink, but it was quite delicious as well. But the tapas we had Brussels sprouts, potato fingerlings. They were so good. I bit into the potato and it was purple. And I was like, a purple
Mm,
potato, but
purple potato.
it was good. It was
It was
delicious. There was
good.
a little, yeah, it was a pink potato. It was so many, and then they had like lamb and short ribs, and
Oh,
CJ had calamari. And then CJ ended up paying for our meal, but this Brittany ended up paying for our drinks. And Brittany ended up paying for my lunch too because she was quote unquote late, even though I wasn't. There was no set time to be there. I just said, "Hey, this is what time our reservation is," but she got caught in traffic, and she felt bad. I was like, "Hey, I ain't gonna fight you about paying for my food, but just know I got you next time." Just know I got
right,
you next time. But it was really good to get to meet her boyfriend Alex, and it was good for her to meet CJ. And then they met, and they're both like same personality type, so it was just a really nice evening to be out. I told CJ we was in the car, and I was like, "I'm glad we did this." You know how they be in movies where they be like, "I'm so glad we got out tonight." I was like, "I'm so glad we
right.
did this. We needed this." But
That's dope.
yeah, that was fun. We stayed. I think we got home about a little bit over midnight. You know, we don't be out like that. So,
Y'all,
but
y'all some young old people, so y'all was out way past y'all, not just your curfew, just past your bedtime.
past my bedtime and everything. But I know I got home and I slept till 2 o'clock the next day,
Oh
2 p.m.
wow. Yeah,
So it was a very good sleep I had. I don't know if it was the alcohol or the tapas or a combination of both, but
probably
I just
both.
know we had a real good time. Oh, and we completed my office project this weekend. We put up some curtains in here too, put out the rest of the
Yeah.
wallpaper. So yeah,
I
I got
saw
like a
the
complete setup in here.
I've been following that journey on the Instagrams.
You see
When
me
you
on
got
the Instagrams?
Yeah, I'll be checking you out on the Instagrams.
Look, this how good I am, right? I ain't paid for none of this wallpaper
Mm.
stuff. You know, my wallpaper about $1,000. So I just pitched the company and they sent me some free wallpaper. And I said, I'm
Oh
using this
wow.
communication degree one way or another. They sent
I
me and
hear
they was
that.
like, let us know if you want to do any other collaboration. So I might do my bathroom too. I'm still
Shoot,
deciding.
daddy needs some wallpaper at his house.
Yeah. We got to
Yeah.
picture my daddy daughter dishes.
There you go. We can
Let's do a
definitely.
live setup of the wallpaper while we record. I don't think the audience will care much for that, but you could try it.
No, I'm not gonna do a live demonstration now. No, I'll be on there cussing and raising all kind of hate.
Oh,
Nope, people
trust. It
they'll be so mad.
definitely I was recording, I was recording us doing the setup and I definitely was like, I'm so glad this is a time lapse because the amount of heavy sighs and shits and how the hell that happened. Like there were so many moments. It took us 3 days like to complete it. I mean, it could have took a few hours, but I have come to realize that I might be the problem.
You might be the problem.
I might be the problems. You ever do something and you catch yourself mid act and you be like, you really acting out right now. Get it together. But you really can't. That should be hard. My patience is thin. I don't have a lot of patience. And I
Wait a
realize
minute.
that.
Hold on. Are you like your father? You start something, you get a little flustered, and now everything just go to shit sometimes. You just be like, what the yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
I couldn't really pinpoint it. So like we would start putting up a strip or whatever. You know, like I said, CJ is very particular about like the measurements. He set me up for success. But
Mm-hmm.
then our walls aren't straight. Like our walls are crooked. I don't know, something construction way. It so like the wallpaper was attaching with a slight lean to it. And so
Okay.
he would be like, "Okay, let's pull it up some so we can fix it." But I'm like, "We already put it on here. Let's just finish it." So I'm taking the squeegee and he's like, "Babe, stop, stop, stop." And I'm like, "No, I wanted to like." And I'm getting upset, but I'm like, I'm not upset with him. But I'm like, I'm just flustered because also I was on the ladder and my back started hurting like real bad. You know, I got
Ooh,
some issues with my back. And it was like
yeah.
once my back started hurting, it was like my head started getting tingling.
Now
I was like, I
you
don't know
out
if
of
I'm finna
focus.
pass out. Yeah, man. I was like, I need a breather. Like I was literally like, I'm finna go get me something to drink. I just need to walk away, reset, and come back. Cause I didn't want to give him bad vibes. I'm sure I did, but
Right.
I think
Right.
he knows his wife enough to know that there was no ill intent. But he stayed with me up until the last strip and he got me right. So shout out to Hubs on that one.
That's what a good leader does. They set you up for success and they stay with you even though you might have some issues through the ordeal. So shout out to Siege. I
Shout out to
always
Sage.
said that that's a good man. That's a good young fella right there.
You
Very
always
patient.
did. You
I
always did
always
say
did.
that. But yeah, yeah, man. We this is F15. What you got for me? Talking points. I know we had I some NBA finals have occurred since the last time we spoke. Let me just say I went to sleep last night before the end of the game.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I thought we were going to be talking about something totally different this morning. When I went to bed, I was like, we're going to talk about a blowout. But we did. We don't have to because there was no blowout
No,
indeed. They played a real good
because
game last night. I was just tired.
The Miami Heat. First, let's pause. So the last episode, it was what was it? Sunday, Monday,
Hmm.
one of them might have
It was a
been
Monday.
Monday. And that night, if I'm not mistaken, Miami was playing Boston in Game 7 of the
Hmm.
Eastern Conference Finals, and they ended up beating Boston in Boston to win the game, win that series. At that time, Denver was sitting waiting because, as we all know, they swept the Lakers, right?
Yep.
And so, you hear that back and forth. The sports heads, the talking heads, they talk about, Denver was probably going to be ready. Miami was probably going to be a little tired. Denver, there was a chance they might be a little rusty because they would have been waiting for a little while for that series to get over with. I personally felt like Denver was going to win the first game of the series, and I was telling uh, me and Jamel was talking about it, and I was like, I'm anxious to see, what adjustments that Coach Spo is going to have for Miami, after game 1. And and the thing that I like about Miami is just they keep doing it. They never stop coming. Like they keep coming. They as a team, I've never I can't remember seeing a team, an NBA team, just collectively just keep coming at you every time up the floor. Like there's no give up in that team. On paper they're overmatched. They're smaller than Denver. On paper, Denver should probably sweep them. But you cannot, when you got somebody like a main player like Jimmy Butler, who has that dog in him, and you got a couple other players on the team that, excuse me, have characteristics of that dog, and they buy into the coach and what the organization is about. That's something special, and that's something that you cannot deny that, and you cannot count that out in a playoff series, especially in the playoffs, because anything can happen in the playoffs. And they seem to be up to the task to go in there and steal a game in Denver. That's big, man. That's big. And I personally picked my pick. I told you, Mel. I said, "Hey, man," I said Miami in six, and Bam Adebayo gonna get the MVP. That's how I think they win because
I
he
have
has
really enjoyed watching Bam play. He got heart.
in my head. When Joker has the ball in his hand, the guy is pretty much unstoppable. Like, to see what he's doing on the court, yeah, I don't ever remember seeing that done by somebody that size, somebody that big, somebody that lumbersome, seems to be slow, but you can't. They ain't nobody been able to stop him. The man can pick apart a team. So in my head, Miami, whoever's matching up with him, when he gets on defense, you got to make him work. You got to make him work every time down the floor. And I feel like Bam Adebayo has to have the series of his life in order for Miami to win. And if he has the series of his life, he'll get MVP and they'll win because he's gonna make Joker work. And them other guys just got to do what they do every day. Just got to keep coming, show up. You got you five the guys 6 through 9 on both teams coming to play every night, and that's what gets people excited about NBA playoff basketball, and that's what a lot of people are liking to see. I hope it continues. What
I
is your
hope so
take
too.
on it?
I hope I don't have much of a take. I just like watching, and I like watching games that aren't a big. I like games that you don't turn off early because you say, "I know how this one going in. I'm going to bed." Like, I
Right,
literally went to bed last night because I was just tired, and then I think in the middle of the night I heard CJ say like the Heat won, but when I went to bed they were losing. So I was like, yeah, it's a toss up. We'll see how it goes tomorrow, but it ain't like they getting slammed, it ain't nothing. You be like, what else is on TV? Because they ain't on nothing tonight. Is this really the NBA playoffs?
right.
But yeah, I ain't got much. I just like watching. I like Joker is doing Joker like things. I was watching some of the shots he was making. He did one. It looked like he was at the free throw line nearly, and he just kind of lobbed it up to the side, and it just went in all gracefully. And I said, that don't make no sense. I'll be mad as hell playing defense up against him, watching him just do stuff, just do random shots and doing ballerina dances and watching shots go in. Like, who gave him these? What's your prayer? What is your prayer, sir? Because I need it.
So so the thing about Joker, I was reading something on him, and he grew up, I think, in Serbia, and
Mm,
he said that they didn't get they didn't get access to watch NBA basketball till he was like 13 or something. And I think he said that he when he got the chance to watch YouTube, I think didn't come or something. May have been YouTube, might have been something else. Anyway, I guess he started when he got access to that at that age. He said he grew up watching. I think it was Magic Johnson, Michael
mm.
Jordan, and somebody else. He was watching all the time, and that's how he kind of developed his game. And I'm telling you, what better two? I can't think of the third one, but it was three of them, and it was like what better three to pattern your game after than those guys. Like, I mean, you talking about three of probably the greatest players to ever play the game, and to pattern your game after them, you can't help if you have the work ethic, you ain't gonna have nothing but success in your future, and that's what it looks like he's having. Um, the thing about this series for me is like this is one of those series, and they don't come often where I won't be mad at whoever wins. Like,
Mm.
if Denver wins, I won't be mad. If Miami wins, even though slightly pulling for Miami a little bit more because I just like Jimmy buckets. I also like Murray
Mhm.
from Denver. I like him. His game is so smooth, and to see him come back from that injury he had a couple years ago,
He the one with the big forehead, right? He the one scored the point against, what's the name? To advance? I
the
mean, not
big
to
forehead.
advance.
I
The
don't,
big forehead.
I don't know he got a forehead like yours, kinda. He light
He
skinned
got
guy.
forehead like mine. Yeah, he was,
Yeah,
he just hold on, he just had did something. Keep talking, I'm gonna have it for you. Give me 5 seconds.
but like I say, this is one of those finals that I won't be upset at whoever wins. Even like I say, even though I'm pulling for Miami, I
Mhm,
wouldn't be upset if Denver pull it out because they got some guys on their team that are deserving. They work their asses off and they play hard. They play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and you want to see
mhm.
people like that succeed. So shouts out to
This
both
is true.
teams. Hope they keep
This is true.
playing very well, very good basketball.
Yes, I share those same sentiments. But real quick, I see you got on a nice V-neck today. You trying to show off
Hold on, I
you
ain't done talking about sports, man. Slow down, slow your
we can
roll,
we
slow
uh,
your roll.
what else
Yeah.
do you have to talk about? There's only 2 sports on right now that
What?
I care about. Wait, real quick, pause. Hold on. You say your
Pause.
thing because I'm gonna forget my thoughts. So say
Go
your
ahead.
thing. You be watching the XFL?
No,
No.
no.
Okay, that was all I
Have
had.
you?
I mean, it be on, but I don't be watch. It be on the TV, but I just be
but you,
listening to the I be like, "Who is this?"
I know.
He's like, "My Chiefs. What is this?"
I I have not. Shouts out to the guys in the
Hey, shout
XFL.
out to him, but it don't seem
They
like
trying to
many
do their
people be
thing.
watching because I be looking at the crowd and it be looking like a minor league baseball in Marion kind of crowd.
That's
It don't be
pretty much
looking
what it
appealing.
is. It's minor league football. They just trying to amp it up to get more revenue for. Yeah, that's yeah. No, I
I would like to
haven't.
see
But
where it goes, but it ain't got me right now.
I
But
mean,
what would you say?
this is not the first time around for the XFL. Like I think
It
it's
is not.
been around before, and it didn't work out, and it came back. And but anyway, I was going to ask you about the recent developments concerning John Morant. Have you heard? Have you been paying attention? Like, only thing they're saying is that there's been some new developments. The NBA has uncovered some new developments that they aren't really going to talk about until the finals are over. And I'm like, golly, on one hand, it's like, there must be some serious stuff going on. And then on the other hand, I'm like, they ain't finna do shit. But
He
I
can't
don't
be
know,
too
man.
serious. I have been in tune with the news about Jean Morant. What's his latest shenanigan? Is it still the gun with the phone?
It's still a gun, but I guess when they investigated that, they've uncovered more evidence as to other things or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the way that everybody has been kind of going up to bat for him is like I've seen different opinions about the thing. You know, I listen to a lot of podcasts that provide a lot of like perspective. And like one, I really did not like. I saw where he was going. I saw what he was going for, but he missed the mark in his defense of John Morant. Like he was basically saying, like everybody just pocket watching. Everybody talk about how much he could lose, how much he lost
Nah,
because of the
man.
ordeal, and how we don't know like who he hang. We don't know. It was just a whole bunch of we don't know. It was a lot of, but what if he was blank? And it's like, okay, you can what if you to death, but
Right.
what he did is what he did, and
What
let's
he
just
did is
be
what he did.
real.
Let's be real.
Let's be real. You could be in your wonderland and be like, this isn't about that. This is about, but let's be real about what it is about today.
Hmm.
With that being said, have not haven't really kept up with no new developments, but if I know media, they probably trying to draw it out. It's probably bringing, I don't know. I have, you know, me and my media conspiracies. I I would just wait until those developments come out because
Yeah,
if it
because
was super bad, John Morant would either be in jail, he would be in someone's custody, or TMZ probably would have broke some news. But I don't think the NBA is doing no sort of investigating that's going to lead to any groundbreaking discoveries that Black people don't already know.
I don't think it would be of that magnitude. I think it's just it's more so around what his possible suspension might be. Like, cause he's not broken, to my
Oh,
knowledge, he's not broken any laws.
he
Like,
hasn't.
he's not broken any laws to be
He
getting
hasn't.
arrested or anything like that. But I think
That's
from
such a
some of
murky way of wording the shit, though. Like that's why again entertainment. Because why would you even word it like that? Y'all just make it sound like,
I
oh,
mean, it
breaking news.
and it's just, I mean, the whole thing is just like we're not going to really dive into this until after the finals is over. So it's like, oh, you got people they watching the finals, but at the same time, in the back of their head, it's like when the finals over, man, they're gonna be talking about John Morant. So basketball gonna be over, but it really ain't gonna be over because we're gonna still have somebody they're gonna be talking about. So I don't know. We'll see. What else I was
What would
gonna talk
if Ja was your nephew or your son? How would you feel at this very moment?
about? I I would
Because
be
if he was my brother,
I'd be so disappointed. Like because
mm-hmm,
I would be so disappointed because I would be so confused. Like from what I know about Ja, he does not come from that environment. Like he ain't getting it from the mud like that. Like you ain't hood, dude. Like that's not your life. Like and it's to have to have been done worked to get where
so
you
hard.
are in life in the NBA, you got millions of kids who looking up to you. You got millions of adults looking up to you. You got people who pack that stadium in Memphis every night to come and see you play. It's just I've said it before. It's boggling to my mind why you even holding. Like I would have personally, if I felt like I needed that type of um, thing in my environment, I wouldn't be holding it. I would
Damn
have
sure
a
would be
I
holding.
would have a security team or a couple of security. Like
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be
Have you a
riding
couple
around.
Samoans on your side
I
with
wouldn't
big
be riding
chests.
around with my boy on Facebook Live playing with no damn gun. We talked about that before. Like anything could happen. I wouldn't be in no strip club. Like at that age, the strip club would probably be in my basement. Like I'm not going out.
In my
I'm
basement.
not going out to find that. Like I'm thinking, like I'm about to do some stuff in my house, man. We gonna
Right,
invite
house party.
a select group
Everybody
of
leave your phones in the
individuals.
bucket at the door.
Mi- Absolutely, like you have the means, you have access to do all of that. Like I would. That's just me, though. That's just me. I don't understand. I would be if I was his uncle. I would be trying to get through to him. I would express how disappointed I was in the beginning, but then I would leave that at that point, and then I would try to
Mhm.
do my best to move forward and try to help him the best way that he felt like he needed help. Like
Yeah.
it's because it's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking to think about what could happen to this young man over some silliness. I mean,
Yeah.
we know some people going through some real life silliness. We know some
Yeah, we
families
do.
that's real stressed out right now over some real life silliness, and my heart hurts for them. Like and here it is, you a dude, you a multimillionaire. You you don't have those real world problems like that, but it seems like you want them. And that I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
That's
It's
a
a
tough one.
toughie.
That's a tough
That's
one.
one that you gotta watch from a distance. Just
Yeah,
say,
and
don't
I
do that over there if you're gonna do it, because I'm
try not to be judgmental because, like, I mean, and he is young and he's got a lot. There's a lot of pressure associated with the position that he is in life, and he may not be equipped to deal with it yet. And hopefully, he's getting help to, to deal with it. So, I don't know. That's
yeah.
enough about him. One more sports thing, unless
Yep.
you got something.
Nope.
Did you see? And I talk about this because I'm a little impartial when it comes to Michael Jordan. I'm a little biased when it comes to Michael. And his teammate, his running mate, that he won 6 championships with, that he will tell you without blinking his eye that would not have won any of those championships without this particular teammate. I'm talking about Scottie Pippen and his remarks about Michael Jordan, talking about Michael was a horrible basketball player before he got to the Bulls, and after he got to the Bulls and they became a team, everybody forgot how horrible Michael was because they started winning. And I was like,
No.
what the fuck is wrong with
Where did he
what
say this?
shit? He said it. Now this is the funny part that nobody really
He didn't
talks
say it
about.
on Pivot, did he?
He didn't say it on Pivot. He said
Okay.
it on another
I am
teammate's
athlete. Oh.
former former teammate of Michael and his podcast. There was a guy went to the University of Oklahoma. His name was Stacey King. He ended up playing for the Chicago Bulls, and I think he won a ring in '92 or '93, if I'm not mistaken, with them. Um, he has a podcast, and Scottie Pippen was a guest on that podcast. If I knew the
Mm-hmm.
name of it off the top of my head, I would say it, but I don't know the name of it. And I haven't watched to see what his reaction was, but when I heard Scottie Pippen say what he said, I'm like, this dude, he either smoked some good shit, or he mad because his book ain't selling, or he mad because there's rumors out there that Michael Jordan's son is um, courting his ex-wife or something like that. So
Oh no.
yeah, man. But Stephen A. Smith, shout out to Stephen A. Smith. I saw him do a response to Scottie Pippen, and he laid it out there as well as anybody could have. You know how absurd Scottie Pippen sounded, and he talked about him having his migraines early on in his career and not being able to play in a game 7 against Detroit. He talked about him giving up on the Bulls, not going in the game when after Michael retired. They was in the playoffs, I think, playing against the Knicks, if I'm not mistaken, and Phil Jackson drew up a play for Tony Kukoc instead of Scottie Pippen, and Scottie Pippen refused to go in the game. Kukoc ended up hitting the shot. They won the game, and Scottie got an earful from some of his teammates, mainly Bill Cartwright. Let him know that, hey man, you let us down. You quit on us. You basically quit on the team. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if anybody is a fucking horrible
Mm-hmm.
goddamn teammate, it's your ass. It darn sure wasn't Michael. I mean, Michael might have been a little crazy when it come to being competitive, but I don't
Yes.
think he was a horrible teammate, because once his teammates bought in to his level of competitiveness and his drive, that's when they started winning. So I don't know, man. I hate to see stuff like that. Hopefully Scotty get him some damn help, because it sure sound like, and it looked like he needed, because the man looked horrible. He looked horrible.
Oh, he might be sick or something.
He
You
might
never
be on
know.
that shit. Is what he
I
might be.
wonder what it'll be like in, like, say 20ish, 15ish years when the current stars, NBA stars, start doing their own little tell-alls about what it was really like inside the locker room and stuff. I wonder
I
who gonna
don't
be
know, but
thrown under the bus with that one.
I don't know. But LeBron. Somebody gonna be coming out saying some stuff about LeBron.
Yeah, that one gonna be hard to believe. I'm gonna need to see video evidence of that, because that one's hard to believe. That man, he just looked like a team player. He'll miss a
Oh yeah.
layup and be like, "My bad, my bad. That was on me." Like that was very nice of you to
And there was some you probably would hear some about, but you're not gonna ever hear about him, because you know he ended up passing away in that plane crash because he was just like
Oh no,
Michael when it came to being competitive.
you catch some of them early docs. They tell all. What was that? The Dream Team doc. I think when they was talking about how much of a asshole Kobe was on Netflix. But then they was like how he was the first one that, he was a leader by example. He was the first one in the gym. He had everybody was like, damn, well, I'm gonna go to the gym at 3 o'clock too. I'm gonna beat Kobe there.
Yeah, they was talking about he was a butthole because early on in his career, he didn't associate with anybody else. He did. It was
Hmm.
just him. He isolated himself from his teammates and everybody. So, when he did that,
The man probably had anxiety.
when they did that, no, Kobe's goal was to be the best basketball player that he could be. That was his goal. Like, if you understand that about him, then you understand like them his teammates, a lot of them they were going out to like, and plus he was young. So when he first got to the NBA, he was 18. So the teammates would be
That's
like, hey, we
wild.
going to the club, we going to do this, we going. First of all, you can't get in because you're 18, you underage legally, you can't get in. He probably could
I
have
mean,
got in if he
we could
really wanted
get
to,
in.
but he
Kobe
probably he
Bryant.
didn't want to. Kobe was like, "Y'all go ahead. I'm going to the gym." Like
Yeah.
every resting moment that other people had, this dude was at the gym, and a lot of the players, even today, they could not relate to that work ethic. Like you hear the
Mm-mm.
stories. Like T Mac said it. You hear him tell stories about we was hanging out or whatever, and I'm thinking I'm getting to the gym early at 5 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and I get there and this dude is in a full sweat. He been here since
Yep.
4 o'clock. Like you was not gonna get the one up on Kobe beating Bryant, and it's just
Mm.
yeah. So I know he had probably had a touch of assholeness in him during those times. But I mean, you look at the results of his hard work, and you like, shit, I should have done that when I was coming up. I should have been a gym rat. He was past a gym rat though. But yeah,
He was a gym
that's
addict.
enough.
But enough
That's enough about
enough
sports.
sports.
I
All
can
them damn
talk your
sports.
head off. I can talk about sports forever.
We gonna need to get you on a segment with us, Stephen A. But like I said earlier, I see you got on the sharp V neck. You trying to show
Yeah,
some ground beef
man.
meat. You trying to show some chest meat. Who you wearing today? I see a leaf and the letter B.
That's what you see.
I
B Leaf
see B
Cigar
Leaf
Company.
Cigar Company.
B Leaf Cigar Company. We kind of talked about it a little bit last week. You said I spilled the beans, and I told you I was going to
Mm-hmm.
really talk about it this week. But
Yep.
B Leaf Cigar Company is out of Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out my man Antonio Gardner. We went to UT Martin together. He is a PT, is what I call him. Pretty Tony is what I
Pretty
call
Tony.
him. PT. He's a member of the Kappa Alpha Psi organization. He's a noob. He what
Oh,
else?
he got a nice little reputation up in Memphis. He got
Hey,
4.8 stars on the Google.
hey, my man be about his business. Man, look, he is a nurse in Memphis, and he went to UT Martin. He is the first African American male to graduate UT Martin's nursing program. So he is like
Seriously?
walking history. Seriously, like the dude
Oh, we
is
need to meet up.
this dude. PT is pretty awesome. He a girl dad. I mean, he dude be about his business. So he started B Leaf Cigar Company started the beginning started when he was at Martin. So you in college, you want to hang out. People you hang out at that time. That's when the Mary Jane was becoming prevalent on
Nature's
campuses and whatnot.
cigarettes. What
Them
you call
yeah,
them?
them natural
Natural.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
But he was on a mission to become a nurse. So partaking in the Mary Jane wasn't something that he chose to
Mm,
do. So he said he's in it to not fit in, but to satisfy whatever was going on. He started smoking cigars, and he just never stopped. And then it got to the point where it was becoming a little bit more expensive to smoke the kind of cigars he wanted to smoke. And one of his partners said, "Man, we should learn how to roll." our own. So he went and got with a certified roller or something out of Cuba or something, and
It was
he
with
know
El
how to
Chapo.
roll a cigar. I don't know about El Chapo, but he knows he is fluent in rolling cigars. Like he knows the trade. He knows the trade. He knows how to work the cigars like that. And
That's
the
dope.
he ended up starting the place down in Memphis. It's a lounge. You can buy T-shirts. You can buy cigars. You can buy humidors. He's got a little bit of everything down there. Like it's pretty cool. I went when I was down there a couple weeks when I got the shirt from him. We sat and we talked. I bet we talked for almost 2 hours, just catching up, and then just like I said, talking about being girl dads or whatever, some of the trials and tribulations that he's gone through as a father, and and I talked about some of the things that I've dealt with as a father of a young daughter. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's B Leaf Cigar Company. Check them out, beleafcigars.com. You can go on there and browse his inventory. You can place an order. He'll ship it to you. You can get your t-shirt. You can do whatever. PT will make it happen for you. Shout out to Antonio Gardner, B Leaf Cigar Company, Memphis, Tennessee.
Hey man, shout out to Bee Leaf Cigar Co. Your website looks pretty cool and got some good reviews on Google. That's always a good thing.
Oh
So
yeah.
you already on the map.
Shout out to PT. That's my guy right there.
That's dope. That's dope. What was I gonna say? Oh, so I meant to touch on this last episode, but man, I'm reading this. So I've been in my
I
book bag
know you've been.
lately.
I feel some type of way about these books because you ain't sent me no suggestions off air.
Well, the ones that I have been reading, you don't want to read. You probably well, let me say, I'll make the assumption that you don't want to read them because they are
Right.
thriller and suspense type books.
Look
The
at this
ones that I have
face.
been absorbing.
Look at this face. It's a
I see it.
thrilling and suspenseful face. I might enjoy it.
Yeah. You know how when you put the same side of a magnet together and they repel?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nah, nah,
You
nah.
don't think
I
so?
mean, I send them, but you probably ain't gonna read them. But the one I did want to talk about is not a thriller or suspense book. It's actually I don't know if you call it self help or whatever, but it's called First and Only, and it's
Hmm.
about being like the first and only black woman in like several spaces. So whether you're the first to get a house, or whether you're the first to graduate college, whether you're first to serve as a director, all those firsts that you may encounter, and like
Hmm.
the myths and the things that we have to break away from in order to thrive and be successful in those environments. And like it's dragging me, and I can't say that I like it, but I'm not gonna stop reading the book
What you mean
because
it's
it's
drag?
very
It's
insightful.
it's telling you about yourself.
Man, it is telling me about myself. So there was a straight portion in there about ways that we as black women tend to cope when it comes to like proving ourselves and show, you know how they be like, gotta work twice as hard to be just as
Hmm.
good. And like how
Absolutely.
that's not like while it's a true quote and it's a true thing to live by, it's not healthy because we go into all these spaces feeling like we gotta, overexert ourselves, overwork ourselves in order to prove that we are something. um
Hmm.
so just that section in the book where she's talking about how ways that women tend to show up in ways that aren't healthy, one of them was to overwork yourself. And the way she described it, when I saw overwork, I was like, "Oh, I don't overwork myself." But then as I'm reading, I was like, "Oh,
She started
maybe I do."
hitting you in the gut, huh? Gut
She
shots.
started hitting so hard. I had to. I was sitting in my chair reading. I had to fold my book up and leave it.
She had to take a pause, huh?
I
A
journaled on
pausable
it,
moment.
but because I was not happy with the way that it left me feeling, and I'm reading alongside some other ladies, and so I sent that section in the book, and they're like, "Yeah, she dragged me," and it say like, here's a section from the book. Here's an excerpt. Those of us who are raised with an overinflated sense of responsibility may work to fulfill all that is on our plate, even when doing so compromises both our happiness, health, and well being. When we choose
Mm.
this strategy, we attempt to be all the things to too many people. In the process,
Mm.
we burn out. We burn out or lose our spark. And then she goes on to say, some of us internalize the negative feedback and begin to see ourselves the way our critics see us, without context, compassion, or concern. And man, I that paragraph told me to schedule a session with my therapist. It said, you know what? You don't know what you're doing right now. I mean, you do know, but you just kind of you just here. You need to
Mhm.
talk that out. So yeah, that dragged me, and I'm gonna have more updates as I continue to read because I meet with my book club I think next week, so I'll have some more insight. But yeah, it, yeah,
I bet
feeling
that
very
did.
attacked.
I bet that did make you feel a certain type of way, because that sounded like you to a T right there.
Didn't it? And like I'm working on it, but to be dragged like that, it took me back
I
to my
don't.
very old self, and I was
I
like,
don't.
huh.
I don't think you should feel dragged because one, you know that you're not alone in feeling that way. You know that you're not alone in operating that way. So,
This is true.
embrace it and know that you have
Oh yes, I
to
am.
kind of move differently when it comes to you.
Yeah.
If it ain't healthy for you, kind of gotta figure out a different way. I
Yeah,
think
it's
that's the
kind of
key.
wild. Like, we'll have to talk about this in a whole nother episode. But it's just kind of wild, like entering your adulthood. Like I joke about, oh, adulting and being a grown up, but like, no, I'm dead ass like grown,
Oh
and I
yeah,
am becoming like a person. Like my values have changed. Like my values have changed. Like things that I tolerate have changed. The way I think about stuff has changed. The way I process things, and it's just
that's
weird because I
cool.
feel like I'm just waking up out of a daze, and I'm like reflecting. I'm like, okay, last time I remember I was in high school. What happened from being that century to now? How did we get?
Damn century, girl. Okay, so my take on that would be, being that I've had a front row seat to your progression over the years. It's just that, baby, you're just growing. Like you are growing into adulthood. Like you made the jump from being a young adult, and I feel like you've made that transition from being a young adult to becoming a full fledged, like real
A
life
whole ass
adult
grown up, dude.
doing adult things. Like you are 24 years old and you have built a house from the ground. I know some
From
people
the
don't, from
ground
the
up.
ground up. And I'm telling you, you are married. You were married 2 years before that. Only two
Yes.
years before building a house with your husband at the
Yep.
age of 24 years old. Like, though y'all didn't just step into adulthood. Y'all dove face first into adulthood and y'all are killing it. So I mean,
Man.
whatever you're feeling, that's fine. Feel it. But you just got to keep on doing what y'all do, and that's adapting, changing, growing, leaving space for growth,
Yeah.
embracing whatever it is you need to embrace to continue moving forward. Keep leaning on each other. Like y'all still have a long way to go, but y'all have so many things figured out that as people that's been married for 10 plus years still working on trying to perfect what you guys seem to have as a natural occurrence in y'all's relationship. So, and when you do that, when you do certain things, like you open yourself up for more things. Like there is nothing but greatness ahead of you all, but with that greatness comes challenges. And
Mhm.
you're gonna have to grow some more in order to get to a point where you accomplish and crush those challenges. it's a never ending process. It never
This is
stops.
true.
Like I can I can relate somewhat just because of the journey that I've started on, after getting in therapy and getting more in tune with myself. Like there's things that I feel about myself today that I didn't feel a couple years ago.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to embrace it and I'm trying to move accordingly. Like it's pretty exciting, but it's kind of nerve-wracking at the same time. And for me, being almost 50 years old, it's like, why now? Why not
Mm.
years ago? But I try to, when I do have that thought, I see it, I say it, and I let it go. And because I
Mhm.
know I got work to do. And
Yes,
there's
sir.
some things coming up for me that I'm excited about, and I can't wait. I can't wait to embark upon this next journey that seems like it's getting ready to happen for me. So yeah,
Me?
man, like it's just a y'all, you just UNC, y'all, man, y'all got some good stuff going on. And
Man,
with you,
speak
it's like
yeah.
every week you doing something different. It's like you're pushing yourself, you're challenging yourself. So I mean,
Man, cause
that's
I
just
get
what
bored
makes
if I don't. You should see me try to relax and be still. Man, I got this notebook behind this candle here. If you're watching on YouTube, that notebook has about 50 business ideas in it and game plans on how to make it happen. And some I'm like, I don't know, they're here. I'll come to them at some point. Or I might just write them down. But the way my brain works is kind of disturbing sometimes. I don't know what is awaiting me, but I do my best to be prepared for the
what
next challenge.
whatever is awaiting you, you're gonna be ready to meet it head on. If not, you don't have a problem falling back, regrouping, and and
Sure the
and
hell
re
don't.
and redoing that thing at a later date. So I mean,
That is
I'm
true.
excited for you. Shit, let's do
Speaking
it.
of, speaking of, this ain't got nothing. I mean, it's my friend, it's an extension. But Lamia has completed and graduated from her rotational program for her job, and she is now back in the States in her permanent home in Chicago.
Okay, Shot Town, the
Beep,
Windy
beep, beep,
City.
beep. Yeah, she starts well, she just moved in today, got her new apartment and stuff, but I'm just
Okay,
so glad to have my friend back in the States cuz I was really missing her face in the Netherlands.
I bet that is a joy. You'll probably be going to Chicago sometime soon to reconnect with her, or she may be
I
coming down
am
there.
Yep, we have a several. So Carson's birthday is coming up in August, and he's having Carson. He got do everything with a show, so he's
Hmm.
having a big weekend in DC that we're gonna go. We're all gonna go up for, and
Okay.
then we plan on having a housewarming with our friends around September. So I'm hoping to see her face quite a few times before the year wraps up. Yeah, I'm just happy she's almost. I think she's done with her masters as well. She got her masters from Syracuse, and
Okay.
yeah, my friends are just dope. I mean,
What?
Bree just started a new position at her job. Like it's just, I'm like, golly, y'all, what episode of Insecure are we on? Because this is some real
Ha!
adulthood shit going on.
Absolutely. What line? What field is Lamia in?
You know what? I know she
You
worked
don't
for
even know.
Abbott, which is they do a lot of like they do like the Infamil, they do all those brands. They do what's the Pedialyte, they
Okay.
do a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't know her exact role, but I know that previously she had worked on a project that her mom actually needed the item for, so
I
that was
remember
like
you
a
telling
cool
me about
moment
that.
for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she just whatever she's doing that where she's thriving in the environment because like they use her for like the pictures. She be on the cover of the company magazine. They love them some Lamia. I said, girl, you gonna be
Hey.
ready that cover. She is someone I can fully see like having one of those like I'm a VP at this company. Like I see her being big dog like that just because she's just like that.
Oh, that's awesome. So I need to get, since she's in Chicago, there are a couple of organizations that are owned and ran by Black people that I need to put her in contact with, just so she can know that they're there if something comes up in her field that could help them out, and vice versa. So that's a new role I'm taking on since I've started this. Shout out to Black businesses on this podcast. Like, I've been trying to link up
You a
people with
liaison.
people. Man, look, hey,
You the
everybody can help.
plug.
Everybody can do something. I may not be the
Okay.
plug. I might be the man who know the plug, or the man who
You the
might know.
outlet.
I, I call myself, I'm the liaison. I'm the
You the
liaison.
extension cord. You said, hey, I can connect you with this all the way over here. You come with me.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
I feel like I take that role in quite a few people's lives myself. I am that person.
I get a kick
Yeah,
out
I'm
of it.
that.
Like, I
Oh
enjoy
yes,
it. I enjoy it. Like, I
absolutely.
want,
When
if you
yeah,
eating and you make space for other people to eat, man, I want to see y'all eat. I don't got to have nothing.
man.
I just love the idea of bringing two organizations together that can help, especially if they're doing work for the community. If they're doing something to
Hmm.
help the community, like, I got a friend that's got an organization. She's in Africa right now doing some stuff. Like, and she's from Chicago, and I'm waiting to get my T-shirt from her so I can shout out her. Hint, hint. Um, and yeah, like, even with Nia and them, the Eva May organization, like, they doing work to build up the community. And
Hmm.
anytime I know I can put them in contact with somebody else that might be doing some kind of work like that to uplift the community across town or down the road or whatever, I'm gonna do my best to put them together. Hopefully they can come up with something and do more for the community, because everybody can do something, and there's a
Everybody
lot of
can do
people out there
something.
that need it. Yep.
Exactly. That's a good role to have. You should pat yourself on the back for that one because that's everybody can't do it, and everybody don't do it right. So you seem like you are doing it quite well. So give yourself a little pat on the back.
No, I ain't patting myself on the back. I'll let somebody else pat
Well,
me on
I
the back. I
patted
ain't.
I patted my back for you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Let me see. Let me see. We got anything else? Any last tidbits you want to touch on? I know we had a talking point, but I think we could save it for the next week when we recap that talking point
Um.
because it will have passed by now.
Yeah, we was gonna talk about some birthdays, but
I
yeah,
I thought
let's
that would be a let's put a pin in that one
let's
because I
put a
got like
pin
a
in that.
whole idea for it. I got something
And
brewing up here.
there are a lot of June birthdays that I need to touch on, and I want to make sure I got all of them on on the list, because I don't want to leave out anybody.
That's just true.
So
Well,
we can
you
definitely put a
got
pin in that one.
all right, bet. Well, I got some comments from our trusty viewers. No reviews, but I do have some comments.
Uh, okay.
What? What was
Nothing.
that?
I was supposed to talk to you about a comment before the show, but I didn't get a chance
Was I
to.
not
So
supposed to? Should I only just read Dear John comment?
it's up to you.
Well, if you
I
was
don't
supposed
even
to
know
talk
what
to me
I don't
about it,
even know what it. I don't even know what it was. I
well,
don't
how
even know
about
what it
I
was.
read it and then, if need be, it'll be edited out and nobody will even hear this portion. But if it don't need to be called edited out, then they will hear all of this and they will know that we respect boundaries over here if need be. But I don't think we gonna read from the Dear John corner.
Dear
Um,
from Dear John. Dear John.
yes,
You know, there used to be a
Dear
TV
John.
show.
No,
There used to be a TV show. Had a guy
was
on
it
there
one of
named
them you like
Kirk.
call in and pray? Oh,
Kirk. No, it was a real, like, sitcom. I can't think of the guy's
oh,
name, but I know the one guy. The character's name on there was Kirk. Kirk.
Kirk,
He was Kirk. Yeah, he used to say
like Kirk
Kirk.
Franklin.
Yeah.
Do you want a revolution? What? Dear John says, another awesome show. Mo. We all need Mo, but just how much Mo do we share or give to others? Just remember to treat others how you would like to be treated, or your Mo will be distributed evenly. Hashtag whip that cream.
That's right on. We stay whipping the cream over here.
I love his comments because it'd be like I feel like we just talking to him and he just talking back to us. And that's
Oh
the kind
yeah.
of comments I like. I love those kinds of comments. And then we have a comment from Empress Eve. I did ask for alternatives to ADHD medication because there's still a shortage according to my pharmacy, and
Hmm.
I still don't have them. So I'm like week 4 unmedicated. So she said vitamin B1, magnesium, potassium, D-mace supplement, keto diet,
Hmm.
and intermittent fasting. I
Okay.
am doing intermittent fasting. I kind of do that like without saying I'm doing it. Like I just how I eat during the day. And it's been all right. It's been pretty helpful, but my mind still be running like
I'm sure
ain't no end in
it's not
sight.
gonna change overnight, ma'am.
I know. I'm just saying. It's
Shout
better
out to
than
Empress
nothing.
Eve for putting her ear to the ground and coming up with some stuff for you to explore as far as
Shout
some
out to
alternative
everything.
ways to
She also
medicate for
likes
your
the devil's
ADHD.
lettuce. She vouches she's all for alternative meds, including the devil's lettuce. And she said we
Hmm.
had her cracking up. And somebody else, a lot of our clips on like TikTok and stuff, people are saying, "Oh my god, this is so funny," and I love this. So, the general consensus is that the people fuck with us.
Oh yeah, the people fuck with us. They
They fuck with
either
us.
fucking with us in private
Oh,
or
lots
they
of in
fucking with
private,
us
because
in
baby,
public.
I can see them stats. Okay, y'all be
Yeah, that's right.
y'all stats be on. Y'all don't even know they be on, but I be seeing y'all watching. So y'all might as
Hey,
well go ahead and leave a review because I could call some of y'all out right now if I wanted to by your
hey,
at
y'all
name.
might
'Cause
as
I don't
well.
know
Hey,
who y'all.
it is the rainbow month. Y'all might well come on out the closet while y'all trying to.
What the hell? How did we get there? Yeah, come out the closet as daddy daughter vicious supporters, making a big announcement. If you want to come out the closet about your sexuality there too, we will celebrate all of that.
I'm
We'll say,
I'm not
hey,
I'm
shout
not
out to the
asking.
new listener and shout out to them for coming out the closet if they would like. But if not, we can keep that on the low as well. However you
Hey,
would like to
I'm
present yourself to the world.
that's their business. I'm just saying this
I'm
just happens to
here to
be that month, and I'm
I
just saying people
love everybody.
and
Bring it on.
listening
Come out the
listening in
closet
the
as the listener.
shadows. You might as well just come on out. It'll
Come
be
on
all
out.
right. Come on,
Say
embrace
I
yourself.
too. Say I too am a daddy daughter dishes supporter. And we're gonna play in the arms of a nature.
What the hell was that?
You know the commercial with the dog. So they be you can make a difference.
Oh, yeah, for 37
From
cents a day.
but they say it like you really say it. So you do that math, that's still a lot of damn money. They should just say the price. That's bad marketing. That's
They be
unethical.
trying
We
to
gotta talk about it.
that let you know they be up to no good when they be talking about
They be like,
for only
for less
37
than
cents
a
a day.
dollar a day. Bitch, that's $30 a month.
That's
And don't let it
$30
be
a
a
month.
31 month a day month because it is $31. You know how much math that is? That's a lot.
And you know,
That's a
if they say for just under a dollar, it's like 99 cents. So
It's
you're gonna be
absolutely
spending
99 cents plus taxes.
plus
And
taxes
there's a processing fee because you
and a
gotta
processing
still
fee because you're gonna use a
yeah.
credit card and they're gonna charge you 3 to 5% for using that.
Yeah, all in all, avoid all them organizations. Just go donate to them shelters directly because research Red
The
Cross and the stuff they
the
do.
the the,
They don't be
the
right.
local shelters be needing more than anybody. When it goes to them national
Absolutely.
places, the local places don't be getting what they deserve, what they need. So take it to the local stuff.
Absolutely. This is absolutely true. Take out the middleman and just give directly
That's
to
right.
I don't know how we got there. But you got any final words before I do our closeout?
No, I think I've covered everything that we were supposed to talk about and a little bit more. I didn't mean any harm about a Rainbow Month comment. It just seemed pretty fitting
We
because
know.
a lot of
You
y'all in the
you're
closet are
not.
watching. It's just funny. But
You as the other people say, you have a lot of rainbow type friends.
who got a lot of rainbow type friends?
You know how white people be
Daddy
like,
daughter dishes?
I have black friends.
Is that
Hey, rainbow community, y'all know where we stand. You know where we stand. You know where my heart is at. Shout out to y'all. We see y'all. We see y'all.
oh no, we gonna get in trouble one day.
No, we ain't. No, we ain't. I
No,
get in. I
you
I
get
be in the
in.
club. They know me.
Hey, you know we could talk about that on the next episode. I went to one of them clubs before,
I
unknowingly.
did not mean the physical club. I meant the
I went.
metaphorical
We went.
club, but that
We
works. I
went
mean,
to a
I've been
club.
though.
I went to a
Mm.
club, and it was.
What
I'm
happened?
gonna tell you, it was fun. We had a good time. I
What?
promise you,
Yeah.
it was a good time.
Gay people are a hoot, daddy.
I
You got.
I know.
Hey, they'll
This
get
was
you right
years.
on your
This was years
feet.
ago. I mean, like years and years ago.
Where
It
was you?
was
What
at
city
least
was you in?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm,
Yep.
and it was
It was.
a. We'll have to talk offline. Anywho, anywho. Anywho, y'all, if you enjoyed this episode of Daddy Daughter Dishes, let us know on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can rate the podcast at. Go ahead and give us 5 stars or whatever the
That's
top
right.
number is. If it's 10 stars, give us 10. If it's 4, give us 4. But the max, give us the max. Let us know what you think. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. And be sure to leave us a comment. Like, we like to talk back. We want to talk to somebody. Let us know we not just talking into the void. I see the analytics. I know we not
Yeah.
talking into a void. So give me a reason to talk back. And lastly, email us if you want to, daddydaughterDishes@gmail.com, and we will read your email on the air, as the folks say. But in the meantime and in between time, Dad, do you know
Mm.
what I have for you today?
I know. I know what you got for me. You got a dad joke. Talk to me.
This is coming. It's coming fresh out the oven. This mug is
Fresh out the
smoking,
oven.
burning my hands. I gotta put it down. All right. Why are your fingers the most reliable part of your body?
Why are my fingers the most reliable part of my body?
You can always count on them. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh my
5, 6, 7.
goodness.
See y'all next week.
Hey, y'all be good. If you can't be good at it.